Pickle, let's go to the hotline. And let's bring in a man who's been on the move, and I mean that both geographically and just in the grand scheme of things. We're joined by the new head coach of the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. We're joined by Coach Brent Davis. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
We're doing excellent. Appreciate your time. I guess my first question is the one that everybody's got on their mind, which is your move to Gregory-Portland and why that was the right move for you. So obviously that's a program with a lot of pedigree. You had a pretty darn good gig there at San Angelo Central. What was it about Gregory-Portland that made it the right move for you?
Well, I love San Angelo Central. Best job I've ever had, and the best people I've ever worked for. Everything from top to bottom there was great. It had nothing really to do with that. I could have stayed there the rest of my life and been very happy. But this opportunity came open down in South Texas, and my wife, she's from South Texas, and we have a lot of family that lives down here. And I was going to have an opportunity to bring my son on as a coach with me here. And so there were just a lot of family reasons, and Gregory-Portland's a great place. I think it's ripe to have some success. I've know a lot about it from being in South Texas at Alice and Sinton and Banquetti and places like that. And I've just always thought it was a great place to coach football. And then the other part of it was just going back to being an athletic director and having a little, more say over the whole total program. And I'm excited to be here.
This is a program down there in Gregory-Portland that, I think obviously the pedigree kind of speaks for itself. They've had tremendous success, and the fan base I know speaks for itself as well. This is a football crazy part of the state. I'm interested in what you told your kids the first time you addressed them as the head coach. Whenever you go in there and you talk with your guys, what was your message to them whenever you addressed them as their new head coach?
Well, I mean, basically it was just that, hey, we're going to come in here. There's going to be some things that are going to change. Not that what they were doing was bad. It's just, everybody has their own little way of doing it. And we were going to change up some things and, to get on board with us. And, when I was talking to them, they're, paying attention, looking you right in the eye. I've been here since February the 1st, and they're working hard. They bought into what we're talking about, and I think it's going to be a good deal.
Talking with Brent Davis, the new head coach of the Gregory-Portland Wildcats here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Coach, I want to go back and look back last year and on the 2020 season there at San Angelo Central. Now when you take a look back on it, with all the things that you guys had to go through with COVID-19 and the protocols and just how everything was so different, I'm interested in how you think, down the road you're going to remember that 2020 season as wild and crazy as it was.
Yeah, it was certainly different. I mean, but I think the things we're going to probably remember more than anything is just how resilient our kids were. I think everyone across the state has similar stories on, our athletes and how the things that they had to handle and go through to be able to play the game and their ability to be able to do that. And, I know in San Angelo, our athletes and our students, they were just ready to get back in school and get back to some kind of normal and get back to the things they enjoy doing. And, not only the sports that are involved in school, but just the social part of school and the learning that's going on in school. And, kids missed it. They missed being there, and they missed being a part of something. And to me, that was the thing I think I'll take from it more than anything, is just how eager they were to get back to work, and then how good we handled it. The whole state. We had the protocols. We all followed them. We did whatever we needed to do to be able to participate, and I thought it went off great. I thought the UIL did a tremendous job of navigating through everything to allow our kids to get back to normal.
I do want to ask you a little bit about Gregory-Portland here in a moment, but one last thing on Central is they've hired a replacement, a guy that I think you're familiar with. Kevin Crane, the offensive coordinator, was promoted to the head football coach's role there. I'm interested in your take on Coach Crane getting the job there.
Oh, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for San Angelo. Obviously, that was my recommendation, was to give it to Kevin when I left, and I sure, the whole time before he actually got it, I was hoping he was going to get it, and did everything I could to try to help him. And we were together 16 years together. We were together at Alice for 4 years, and then we were at San Angelo for 12 years together. And he was my offensive coordinator the whole time, and he's just a quality guy. I mean, he's a great person. He's a great coach. Those kids really, like him and play hard for him, and I know he's going to do tremendous things there.
Talking with Brent Davis, the new head coach of Gregory-Portland here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag TF Today. Coach, I think there's probably a fair number of GP fans who are watching this, who are interested in what kind of team they're going to see next year, what the Brent Davis team is going to look like. What can you tell folks about what this Wildcats squad is going to look like under Coach Davis?
Well, I hope they're going to see a tough-minded, physical football team. That's what we're going to have to be to have success. And I don't really know exactly what kind of offense we're going to run yet. I know it's going to be similar to what we did in San Angelo, but we've got to figure out what kind of personnel, what kind of quarterbacks, what kind of receivers that we have here, and then we'll make some decisions based on how much we're going to throw or spread it out and things like that. But I hired Greg Winder recently from Louisville High to be my offensive coordinator here. And he's going to run his offense, which is a spread concept offense with a whole bunch of different formations that we weren't really a big formation team in San Angelo, but we're going to turn into one here, and I'm going to let Greg run it. And then I hired Mark Chester, who was with me for a while at San Angelo, and then he went to Blue Ridge as a head football coach the last couple of years. And I got him to come down here to be my assistant athletic director and my defensive coordinator. And so our defense will be really similar to what we did in San Angelo, but our offense will change up a little bit. But more than anything, I just want us to be an aggressive, tough-minded, physical football team. And I think if we can get to that point, that we'll have success.
And finally, Coach, I think people, for the last spell here, you've been out there in the Concho Valley. Of course, you had to stop in DFW at the Colony, but a lot of your career has been, this is a return to South Texas for you, and a lot of your career has been down there. In fact, you had great success pretty much everywhere you've been, but I would say the site of your biggest success was there at Sinton when you took them to the title game there in 2001. From your perspective, can you kind of put into words what is it about South Texas and coaching in South Texas that is so alluring and it is so interesting to you?
Well, I just, not on purpose. It just kind of happened that my first job out of college was at El Campo as an assistant coach. And I just kind of fell in love with this area. I'd never really been in it a whole lot and just liked it. The kids here remind me a lot of the kind of kids I grew up with in West Texas, and then the ones I coach out in San Angelo. They're just good, hardworking kids. We got great families. Football's really important. Athletics in itself is really important down here. And the whole town, whether you're in Sinton or Gregory-Portland or Alice or any of them, the whole town will support you. And that, being a one-horse town, like just having one high school that we're responsible for here was another part of my decision to come, because there's just something about when you have your whole town that rallies around your programs, and down here in South Texas, they're known for it.
He's Brent Davis. He's the new head coach of the Gregory-Portland Wildcats. Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the new
appreciate
gig.
y'all. Appreciate you, and I appreciate everything y'all do for high school football.
Take care, Coach.
Thanks.
There he goes, Brent Davis, new head coach, Gregory-Portland Wildcats.